finally some blockbuster movies are out. Kung Fu Panda 4, and then you had Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, and then you have the new Godzilla X Kong movie. But Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, directed by Gil Keenan, I think his name is. But sequel to the last Ghostbusters movie, which was the Afterlife one, which I thought was a solid movie. I feel like this one was better, but there are some issues I have with the movie. Like, the main villain is kind of just a generic frozen Diablo skull guy with ice powers. He's kind of boring and also rushed. And the third act is very rushed. Very rushed. But a lot of the humor is good. A part of some of the jokes, but most of the jokes land. Paul Rudd is really good. He steals the show in this movie. The girl who plays Phoebe is really good. The granddaughter of Spangler. But Paul Rudd in the last movie, I felt like his screen time was disappointing because he's more of a big name actor, but they gave him more screen time in this movie. And the other brother, for the dynamic between the brother and sister, I don't really care for the brother, the Trevor brother, that much, but the family chemistry is there. And I'm glad to see that the original Ghostbusters had a lot more screen time than they did in the last movie. That's a huge plus. Though Bill Murray was not in the movie as much as I'd like him to be. And, they're old and tired. And, it's been 40 years since they did it. Did the first movie. I feel like the action was good. The opening was great. But like I said, the issues were the third act or the final act of the movie was very rushed. The villain was kind of boring. There's a few predictable moments in the movie. Phoebe was the youngest one, and she feels like she can't be a real Ghostbusters because of her age. And Walter Peck has an appearance in there, and there's a few surprise cameos. I was hoping that Rick Moranis would be in it, but sadly he's not in this one. But overall, I would give Ghostbusters Frozen Empire 7.5, 8. It's got some issues. Also, the new character, Nadim, he was a pretty funny character. He's the guy from the Eternals, and I don't want to mess up his name because I don't want to insult the actor, because he did a pretty good job, and he's supposed to be a fire person. I'm not going to spoil anything else other than that. Like I said, it's a pretty good movie, and the critics were not really a huge fan of the movie, which I don't understand. I thought it was better than the last one, despite there were some issues. But I feel like Afterlife was solid, but it felt like all the original characters were just glorified 5-minute cameos. And this one, they actually feel like they actually do something in the movie, particularly Winston and Dan Aykroyd's Ray. I'm glad that Winston actually became a successful guy. They even had what's her name do some ghost busting for once. Ann Potts' character, I forgot her name, but they actually had her do things in the movie. Even though it was brief, she's not just sitting around taking the call, she's actually doing something. and I'm kind of happy that they actually did something with the characters, more with the original characters that they did in the last one. But there's issues, and there is an after credit scene, but it's not leading up to anything. But they probably will make a sequel. I feel like this is probably a good stopping point, because it could get worse from here. I don't see it getting any better than 1, 2, and Frozen Empire, and then the last one before that, and we don't talk about the 2016 one.